So today, I'm going to talk about you not being a member of a community and why that's killing your future. See, when I joined the community that I'm currently a part of, I didn't realize that the importance of a community and how I've been part of one for a very long time in my life. Back when I was young, I was a member of 4-H, was a member of Boy Scouts, ran track, played football, and then ended up, when I graduated high school, I joined the military. And if that's not the sign of a community, military is a microcosm of the world. Every race, religion, financial backing, education is part of that community that wears the same uniform, that fights for the same cause. And it never really dawned on me how much that really applies until much later in life, and seeing how I wanted to advance myself, wanted to advance my future, needed to find something different in my life, that I ended up finding the new community that I am a member of. And it really got me thinking today, because I'm out at an event, and if you look behind me, you'll see a multitude of Jeeps. I came to a Jeep event, and it is absolutely a community feel. There's a commonality to it. There's a common bond in the fact that you have a vehicle that you purchase, that you own, that you have something in common with somebody when you show up. And so if you take that to the next level of what can a community do for you, and how is you not being part of a community actually causing you to not accelerate your future or your career. So what a community does is it gives you a safe place to be vulnerable. It gives you a safe place to be honest. It gives you a safe place to be looking for something different that others will support as you look for it. Now, not all communities will do that. I'm not saying that a Jeep community will actually want to hear how you want to accelerate your future and how you're looking for someone to hold you accountable, or how you're looking for someone to give you advice. And I'm not saying that you can't, that you won't find people in that community that would do that for you. But what I am saying is, if you choose the right community, if you choose the right group of people to be around, people that will push you, people that will, not question your intentions, people that will accept you for, potentially the vulnerabilities that you have, and to think that by choosing a community, you could take the next step and open yourself up for that next opportunity. See, when you make yourself vulnerable, when you speak out and say, hey, I'm trying to be this person, one thing that a community might not know you as is who you were. It could be that the people in the new group that you join, or the new group that you start to surround yourself with, don't know who you were 10 years ago, don't know who you were 20 years ago. But what happens is, when you step up and say, I want to be different, they don't know anything but what those words you're saying. So does that count? Does that cause you to be more accountable? Does that cause you to be more honest? To look at someone and say, hey, I see that you did this. How do I do that? I don't know how. Or, I see that you are this successful. How did you get there, and how could I? Not saying that it's an instantaneous fix for anything you haven't been doing or anything you should be doing, but what being the part of a community does is it gives you that safety to then take those steps and fail. If you ask anybody in a group, hey, how did you get here? What was the failure you experienced to bring you to that next stage? And if they're honest and they tell you, you'll then put yourself around other people that will have very similar stories. Business failed, relationship failed. And if they then ask the question, like, what was it that you took away from that failure to then take you to the next stage, you may find that part of what they'll explain to you is that they were part of a strong community that allowed the failure to be a learning opportunity. And when you say, well, how was being a part of that community opened up the opportunity of failure to be something you can learn from? Well, then what you do is you take that failure and you put it out there and say, hey, this is what happened. I'm trying to dissect this and understand it. And most of the time, if you're in the right community of successful people, then you're going to find that they will have some educational answers for you. So, if you look in history and you start looking at what communities can do, or what being part of a group can do, there's all kinds of examples. There's good examples where people have risen up, they've looked at what the circumstances are and banded together as a community for one common cause, and have supported each other, taken care of each other. You got a perfect example right now with the hurricanes that have come through. There are communities that have stood up. They may not know each other, but they're in the exact same situation. They've had a devastation happen in their life that was of no control of their own, to then bring out the best in people. Now, there's also communities that are unhealthy. The biggest one that comes to mind, which might sound weird, but if you think back to World War II and you think to, the reign of Germany and what they did for years to the devastation of millions of people, that in the most basic sense was a community. There was an ideal, there was a belief, there was, people that felt out of place, people that felt unheard, unseen, and they found a commonality where they could join, and it became, a very devastating thing for, a culture of people, and it took the world, another community, to stand up and fix that situation. So, there are historical examples of those situations, and there are, modern current examples. I will take, myself, I will take other members of this community that I'm part of, that I joined, to say, there is a healthy, specific, educational way to step out of your comfort zone and to, put yourself out there in a way to say, hey, I'm here, I'm available to learn, I'm available to listen, and I would like to know how this works. If you surround yourself with the right people, you will always prosper. If you surround yourself with the right people, you will actually become healthier. If you surround yourself with the right people, you will actually become happier. It's a proven fact. It's a scientific fact. You can look it up, do the research, because loneliness and doing it on your own is the absolute sure way for you to become unsuccessful, unfulfilled, and unhappy. If you speak to any very, very successful person, if they are honest about it, they will tell you they did not do it alone. It was not a solo effort. They surrounded themselves with people that knew what they were doing. They surrounded themselves with experts in a certain, tasking or mindset or, anything very specific to the fact that they got around these people, they listened to these people, they were honest and vulnerable with these people, and in return, they allowed these people to support their vision and their goals and their purpose. Once again, I go back to what ties all this together. What makes you to a point where being a part of a community is something you will find valuable, and in return invaluable, to accelerate where you want to be and who you're hoping to become. When I say your future self is there, it is. When I say that being a member of a community, like the community that I've joined by purchasing a Jeep, it wasn't, I didn't have to put an application, I didn't have to ask for it. I ended up just purchasing a Jeep and immediately and I'm accepted into this this group of people that love having this certain vehicle, and then open their minds and it's an instant conversation starter. But I still say it's the right community that you have to surround yourself with to make yourself successful. So if you're ready to make a difference, if you're ready to make a move on yourself, if you're ready to actually be the person that you believe you can be, or are just curious on who that person can be, reach out. Find a community or reach out to me, and I'll help you get you pointed in the right direction. Love to know your comments. Love to know what you think. And until we talk again, live life like you mean it.